Hey guys, Elderfall 101 here, back here with another tier list. Because y'all love these tier lists and I love making them. I have a lot of fun making them. But today's tier list is ranking the Skyrim enemies on if I would beat them in a fight or not. So let's lay the groundwork for a second. We'll give them the advantage, so we would fight them in their known area. For example, this fish. We'll give him the water, because if we fought this guy on mainland, I'm whooping his butt. Another example, the spider. We can fight him in his little webbed area. We'll give him the advantage. Which you might be saying, well, what advantages do you get? I don't get none. I got my fist. That's all I need. Let me give you let me give you a picture. The scenario. I'm about 6 foot, around 180, 190 pounds. So I'm like your average dude. In pretty good shape. I work out. I run. So that's like my things, right? And since we are fighting them in their environment, let's say we're fighting a raider in a raider camp and I find an axe on the ground, bro, I'm swinging at him with that thing. There's a plate on that table, whoosh. I mean, yes, I'm using my fist. I only start with my fist. But I have the prep time in the initial thought that, I know what I'm going against. For them, they're just, randomly a counter. I just randomly popped up on them. But for me, I've known I'm going to be fighting these guys. So I have that knowledge. So let's go with the first one. A red guard. I feel like red guards, they have a really big sword. I mean, he touches me with that sword, I'm dead. But it's not something like a dragon, I would say I would say 1 in a 14,605,000 chance I win that fight. I don't know. Honestly, I think I'd be the underdog in that fight. If you don't know that, that's the odds of the Avengers winning in Endgame that Doctor Strange gives in Infinity War. He's like, you have a 1/14. Yeah, wait, etc. A Storm Atronach. Yeah, that's a 1,014. I mean, he's just living electricity. Electricity is very lethal to humans. So, and he has range. So I don't even know how I'm gonna get close. I think my only chance would be if I was in the surrounding area, I was able to find stuff to throw at him and keep my distance, but also dodge. Ooh, strafe, side to side, side to side. Now we have a normal bandit. I'm going to give a normal bandit a 50-50 shot. Most bandits don't have any weapons that are worth a darn. They're like swords and iron axes and stuff like that. And what is he going to do when I start grappling at him and wrestling him, bro? I'm not just going to swing at him. I'm going to play as dirty as I possibly can. I'm going to throw dirt in his eyes. I'm going to slap a plate across his face. I'm going to suplex him. I'm going to do whatever in my power to stop this guy. Okay? I just want that to be clear, okay? Okay, next. The bear. There's been stories of real life people stopping bears. So is my chance 0% like a Bambi versus Godzilla fight? No. But is there a chance? I do think so. I think I would be the underdog, but I'm saying there's a chance, okay? So our next enemy is the little black ghost skeleton guy that I think you fight when you get Dawnbreaker for the first time. Those guys are pretty weak. I low-key think, in most cases, I'm beating those guys, right? I'm gonna steal the weapon out of them. They're skeletons. They have no muscle, right? They're just bone, and bones break, okay? Let's be so for real. He might be a little mystical, magical moonbeam ice cream dude, but I'm beating the crap out of him, okay? In most cases, I'm winning that. A dragon, that's our first case of Bambi versus Godzilla. I mean, there's absolutely no chance on Earth that I'm beating a dragon. Not one. I don't even want to go over it. A Draugr is just a stronger skeleton. And I already know where I'm going to rank a skeleton. So I'm probably just going to put it at a 50-50 shot. They have weapons. Some of them have spells. But, honestly, they're just worse. They're worse raiders. Because they don't have as much muscle on them. And they're dumb. Because they're, dead, right? They died once before. They're gonna die again to my hand. Okay, let's be so for real. The Thalmer. I mean, these jokers don't mess around. They poison you. They have crazy weapons, but low key they mad short, and they're blind. Chronologically, they're blind. Granted, would we find them in their home advantage? And I feel like these little jokers would be using guerrilla warfare on me. They're gonna run into their little tubes and just pop out another one, and I'm bah! And I'm gonna be fully alert when I'm fighting this guy. But I'm not saying I'm losing. I think it's the underdog, but I think Honestly, I think I'm more likely to beat the bear than I am going to beat the farmer. Like, these guys just, they know how to fight. Whatever these guys are called, I'm not going to say it's the Briarheart ones, but y'all know what these guys are called. These are probably going to be the hardest fighters to fight because, I mean, that's all they do. They're like tribal people. I think they're going to be the hardest. That being said, I still think I'm the underdog, but I think I would put him above the Thalmor in difficulty. So this order actually matters as well, right? A spider, I'm beating the crap out of a spider. I don't care. You could be like, oh, what if it's the big spider? I'm beating the crap out of it. The little, I'm beating the crap out of it. You know, I'm gonna like grab him by one of his legs, start swinging him around, flung him across the room, splat. I can take on spiders in real life. I'm gonna take this guy on in this game. Like, what's it gonna do? Like, I'm fast. Like, I would say in game, the Skyrim characters are not fast. Am I gonna get winded? Probably. But before I get winded, I'm taking these guys out, right? The spider's gonna lunge at me, boom, straight to the left. Kick him. Shoot, boom, dodge backwards. Kick with my right leg, punch, punch. Grab him by the leg, start spinning him in the air, and then throw him. And he's stunned by the wall. I get on him, and I just start curb stomping the crap out of him, okay? Because what is this guy, 80 pounds at most? At most. Even the big ones, maybe 100. Light work, bro. A ghost? I ain't afraid of no ghost. You know, I've seen the Ghostbusters. As long as I can physically hit him, if I can hit him, this is an easy fight. I mean, you died once, you're gonna die again, okay? Let's be so real. But if I can't, if my hand just goes straight through them, then that's gonna be an issue. But granted, you could be a fist-only run of Skyrim and hurt these guys, so I'm assuming that I will be able to damage them. They're just little wimps, low-key. In most cases, I'm beating those guys. A giant, I think a giant is a 1 in a million, 605 chance. My idea is the giants are pretty slow. If they hit me, I'm dead. If they hit me, I'm dead. And they have really, really tough skin. So it's a lot of it's going to be using my surroundings to my advantage, like trees, rocks. I mean, we're going to be in his camp, so maybe I can lure him into the fire, and like he's going to attack me. I'm going to dodge, and then I'm just going to like with all my might just run into him and try to push him into the fire. Right? That's my game plan. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. The mammoth, let's be so for real. My ancestors, you know, killed mammoths, right? And I know how to set up a Wi-Fi router. Do my ancestors know how to set up a Wi-Fi router? Would they ever be able to comprehend that? No. So if they can kill a mammoth, I can kill a mammoth. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy fight. I think it's another one of those 1 in 14,605 chance I win. But I mean, I know it would be like fighting an elephant. It would be like fighting a modern day elephant. And I think I got it. Okay? There's a chance. There's a small chance. Mud crab, very similar to the spider. I honestly think I'll have a harder time with the spider than... I think I'd have a harder time with the mud crab than the spider. That has a tough shell. And if one of those pincers get on me, I'm done. One of the pincers got me, goodbye to my left arm. Right? But that means I'm not dead. You know? I just gotta keep fighting. I have to keep fighting. Right? I just gotta be careful. I gotta be really careful when I'm fighting that guy. Dragon Priest, dude, I'm stealing his staff from him. I might not know how to use the magical abilities from it, because he probably has no grip strength. Let's be so for real. I'm just gonna grab it and start yanking. We're gonna do like some tug of war action. And when I get that staff, I'm gonna turn into prime Jack Brewer from kicking it and start going make into a little bow staff, knock his junk out, okay? I'd be the underdog, okay? But I'm winning. You know, if I can't get the staff out of his hand and he kills me before then, I'm cooked. These little goblin dudes, I can't remember the actual name of them. I'm stomping them too. It would be like me fighting like a first grader. Let's be so real. Like, yes, he might have some spears and stuff like that, but I'm just going to yank it out of his hand. Like, what do you want to do now? You just punt him across the room, dude? I can make a 40-yard field goal with this little joker, okay? Sabretooth. This would be a hard fight. But also in the same sense, I think my ancestors killed saber-toothed tigers. But it would be like me trying to fight a lion. And it's definitely, it's a 1 in a million chance I beat that saber-tooth. He's fast. I think what I have over most of these guys, I'm going to have speed. I'm going to speed blitz them. But I'm not speed blitzing a saber-toothed tiger. Alright? Unless I got onto his back and like tamed him and like started riding him home. The skeever. Is this really a question? I am beating the crap out of that little rat. Okay, I'm punching him, I'm kicking him, I'm throwing him, I'm eating him. I don't care. I'm doing anything. No holds bar, bro. I might use him as a weapon against the other guys. I don't know. Let's be so real. Skeleton. I genuinely think the skeleton is the easiest thing on this list to fight. It is a person with no muscles, right? Bones break very easily, and all I have to do is break one of those legs, and then he's done. Yes, he might have a weapon, but in some iterations, these skeletons don't have weapons. So, if I get lucky and get one that doesn't have a weapon, bro, it's gonna be fist v fist, bro. And what? It's just gonna feel like some bones hitting me. I mean, like it'd be no different than fighting a person, but there's no muscle, so there's no power behind these swings, right? It's just more like flinging like bone at me. Light work. This little piranha thing, like I said, I'll give him the advantage of being in the water, but I'm not saying like deep ocean water where I can't touch the ground. I'm talking like a swamp, where like or like a tiny little pond. Like I might be up to my belly to my chest in the water. I think I'm taking him out. But I see there's a scenario if he gets the advantage of being in the water where he just bites my Achilles or like a vein and I'm just dead. I'm just bleeding out. You know? In that case, I'm killing him too. I'm gonna like bite his head off. You know? But he's gonna probably take me out in the process. The Dwemer, a robot. Bro, I would beat the crap out of a robot. In real life right now. I don't care. I'm still thinking it's 50-50 because those guys have like swords and blades and crossbows. But what is he gonna do when I pick him up and throw him on the ground? I might not be able to poke. I might not be able to actually pick him up. He's probably gonna be like 300 pounds. But if I just run at him with all my might and just push him, or just run all my my body into him, that's like 200 pounds running straight at you. I don't care what you think. If the average thing, if you're running at it with your 200 pounds and you're moving pretty fast and you hit it, it's gonna stagger or fall over, and that's all I need. That's all I need. Okay. The Thalmer, they have armor. They have pretty good armor. And they're also just naturally pretty tall guys. This one's a fight that I'm going to have to take very seriously. Because they have the height advantage on me. They have that reach. And you know in a fight, reach is deadly. Reach is really, 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 really deadly. So I would have to factor that in a lot. I don't know why I put the Dragon Priest that low. The Dragon Priest should probably be at the highest if I'm the underdog. Because if he wasn't, he would be in this next year. I think I'm beating him over the red guard. But I think these two guys are going to give me more of an issue. I also got to think, they often use magic a lot. I mean, I watched Epic How To on how to fight a bear. So I kind of have an idea on how to do that. I haven't seen an Epic How To video on how to beat this guy. These little vomit jokers from that Draugr quest. I mean, I've had kids vomit before. It's not gonna stop me. I think this has a little bit of acidicness to it, but all vomit does. You know, he's just throwing up. He's gonna throw up once. I'm gonna make sure he misses, and then I'm tackling him, curb stomping him. It's probably more hard than this guy, so I'll probably put him at the back. I'm beating him. He's over the red guard. Because the red guard has to be close range. This guy might have some spread with that acid. Even if it burns me, I'm killing him. Let's be so real. Actually, if that blade touches me, I'm cooked. A troll. A troll's gonna be a hard fight. I feel like it'd be the equivalent of me fighting a gorilla, or like an orangutan. But I'm so cocky, and my mind just tells me I could take on a 160-pound monkey. I know I couldn't. I can't. But I think I could. I think there's a chance. It'd be like me fighting Brock Lesnar, you know, like I don't know. There's a math where you could figure out an equation on how I could do it. And it would be in the wilderness, so I'm exposed to the elements, and he's gonna have the advantage there. A vampire, honestly, out of the most humanoid characters, is probably gonna beat me. I think out of the most humanoid characters, is probably the strongest. Not stronger than a dragon priest. Nah, definitely is stronger than a dragon priest. That guy's a wimp. Axe and the blood ability to take, basically you're just taking my blood out of my body and I can't do anything about it. But if they make me a vampire, bro, I'm beating the crap out of them. And if they're like the Twilight vampires, bro, dude, I'm beating the crap out of them. I'll just take them out of the sun. I'll beat them up. You know, It would be like in Demon Slayer when you see them fighting demons. Like they're gonna have the advantage, but the humans win sometimes. You know, if I train hard enough, I can beat the vampire. I just might have to outlast him until morning. You know, because if he gets the advantage, he would have to be at night. We're not gonna give him inside of a building because that's too much of an advantage. But if it's outside, I can probably fight him until morning. You know, and then he would be cooked. But yeah, if it's like those freaking guys, I'm just gonna walk inside of the house. I mean, if they don't have, like, if you have to welcome them in for a vampire to come into your house. I know Skyrim vampires don't work like that, but same thing. Wolves. I mean, if we're talking one, dogs are pretty like they mess you up. Like a dog could mess you up. A wolf is really gonna mess you up. I would say a wolf's gonna mess me up, but I think I'm gonna come out alive. It's a 50-50 shot. You know, that wolf knows where to target. But, like, those wolves in Skyrim are pretty big. But, like, what is it going to do when I just run at it and just lay all my weight on it? You know? Nothing. This little bug, light work, bro. Light work. I could just, like, step on one of those little legs and it's broken. I feel like I'm talking very, very violently. Don't worry. The Ashlanders, Ashman, Ashenarch, they're probably going to be the strongest. Like, they're going to be stronger than this, but they're still a 50-50 shot. I mean, like, he swings that weapon, boom. I hit my head back, grab his wrist, and then start just punching him in the face. He's Ash. I'm going to beat him. Let's be real. Daedric Prince. Low-key, Daedric Prince is going to be hard to fight. Because that's just like the Daedric armor. I mean, his face is not guarded. But he's still like a demigod, basically. I think there's a chance. I think he's the highest, and I feel like he's closest to Bambi versus Godzilla. But I think I got him. If he had a helmet on, it'd be impossible. But saying that his head is exposed, I think I can do some work with that. These little ugly mugs. They got magic. They actually have some pretty deadly magic, low key. But what are they going to do when I close the distance? They're going to use the magic point blank range, and most of it's like fire. I mean, I can last like maybe like 30 seconds getting burned by fire. You know, is it going to not last 30 seconds when I beat its head into the curb? It's like an old lady too. Respectfully, I'm not going to beat up any old ladies. But this is a hypothetical situation, right? Life or death. I'd be the underdog in the fight, but I think I'd beat him. Like, there's a world where I beat him. You know, there's not one world where I beat him. Or a 0% chance. There is multiple worlds where I beat him. This guy is just a stronger, more menacing giant. I think he has to go in Bambi versus Godzilla. Yes, I have the speed on him, but he has, like, area attacks. I'm not beating that. These guys, I'm just grabbing his tentacle and I'm just gonna start climbing up onto him. What is he gonna do when I grab his tentacle and just start yanking it really hard? You know, like just really, really hard. I'd be the underdog in the fight, but I think I'm beating it. Just yank his tentacles as hard as I can, and then like maybe I can climb up the tentacles and start punching the underside of them. Pop, pop, pop. You see that? These guys, they're Mirak's little friggin' ugly mug of a companion, best friends. Light work. Nah, I'm kidding. Those guys are definitely gonna beat me. There's no way I'm beating those. These little centipede creatures, they're gonna be hard. They spit acid at you, but let's say, boom, strafe to the left. Run at it. They shoot another one, strafe to the right. 360, kick to the face. Doesn't do a whole lot, but the reaction of like he flings his head to his right, then I jump onto his back and then I just start putting him in a chokehold, right? Friggin' 50-50 shot. The ice dude, if I can hit him, he's dead. You know? Like, I don't care. It's ice. Like, it's gonna be cold, but dude, I took a cold bath once or twice. I've done some cold plunges, some ice plunges in my life. I can take it. You know? Just like uppercut him, punch him, just grab him, start spinning him around, throw him, because he's light. He's like, he has no weight to him. You know? I'm beating it. Probably the hardest one. This little woman, this little mystical woman, she sends out a bunch of little like things like that at us. That's what's gonna be annoying because she's gonna send out many projectiles at us, so there's gonna be multiple things that we're actually have to fight in this fight. That I think it's gonna be another situation where I'd be the underdog, but I could see myself winning. I don't think it's stronger than the vampire. The Atronach people, I mean, they're trees. I can split a twig in half by myself. I can split that arm in half, right? Must be so real. It's just a tree. I think it sends bees at us, but well, I'm just gonna tackle it and just curb stomp him. 50-50 shot. I don't. I don't even think that's hard of a fight. I mean, there's no muscle. It's just twig. Twigs are definitely a lot weaker than bone. You know. So let's be a walrus. I've seen that Tusk movie once. I mean, it makes me have a whole new light on these walruses. But they're slow. They're really, really slow. But they're gonna be tough to kill. Like they're gonna have very, 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 very thick blubber. But I mean, they're just so slow. I'm gonna splee blitz it the crap out of it. Um, and I would say in the advantage I'd give it in water, but you don't ever see these guys on the water. I'll give them a beach. That's what they get, and then that means I have sand to throw in their eyes. Let's be so real. In most cases, I'm winning that fight. If somehow, dude, I have a hard time thinking how I'm gonna lose that fight. You know, these little wisp guys, very similar to the ice guys, but these are not cold. They're gonna be a lot easier to kill. So I'd put them at the bottom of the list. So yeah, I think this is probably my perfect tier list ever on if I would beat these guys in a fight. These guys I will destroy. In most cases, I'm gonna beat these guys. 50-50 shot. I would be the underdog in the fight. You know, I might go the distance, but I may or may not win. 1 in 14,600,000. Like this is like the one in all the universes. There's one universe where I win, and that's where these guys go in. Bambi versus Godzilla. I mean, there's a 0% chance. Godzilla just has to breathe and kills Bambi. But yeah, thank you all for watching my amazing tier list, and I will see you all later. Bye.